Don't like the fact that the cat I am housing for 2 weeks is being rambunctious despite the fact that your dog howls all night, every night? Fine, I guess it's time for some revenge. I moved into my apartment last year around August. When I moved in, the landlord made it very clear that there are to be no pets on the property whatsoever. I quickly found that my neighbor doesn't care much for this rule, as she has a large mutt that likes to howl at all hours of the night. For over a year I put up with this dog howling and never said so much as a word to her or the landlord. Last week a friend of mine told me she was leaving town for an early Thanksgiving and asked if I could watch her cat while she was gone. I agreed. My neighbor had a pet, so surely we could be partners in crime. Nope. If you've ever had a cat, you know they get zoomies. Especially at night. The cat spent a couple hours each night running around the apartment and making minimal noise. The second day I had the cat, my neighbor comes over and starts shouting about how I'll call the landlord if that cat isn't gone by tonight. I reminded her that her dog has made noise every night since I moved in, but she didn't seem to care. She said if I didn't get rid of the cat by that night, she would be calling the landlord the first thing in the morning. As soon as she left, I took the cat and all its stuff to my girlfriend's house and then immediately called the landlord asking if he had revised his pet policy. He said, unfortunately no. No pets on the property. I then informed him that my neighbor had recently adopted a dog and it had been making noise. Less than 2 hours after my neighbor had been threatening me, the landlord was in her apartment and taking pictures of damages the dog had done. She is now being evicted. Roommate kept using my stuff, so I put something into the toothpaste. I had this roommate who kept using my stuff in secret. I didn't notice this in the first few weeks, but soon realized that he has been not only using my toothpaste, but also fragrance, deodorant spray, shampoo and all kinds of stuff from the fridge, ketchup, sauces, etc. It just didn't make any sense how quickly these different products emptied. He used them more than I did. For example, I only used the fragrance when I went out in the weekend, but after 2 weeks almost a quarter was gone. Since I always had to leave early in the morning, he had the freedom to use whatever he wanted. One evening I asked him about this. He denied everything with big surprised eyes and swore that he only uses his stuff. So I had to set a trap for him. I chose the toothpaste tube because it was almost empty. I took a straw and poured a bit of salt inside. Since the toothpaste had already some kind of crystals inside, it was perfect for the salt crystals to blend in the mix. I placed the tube back where it was and waited for him to go brushing his teeth. There he went a bit before midnight. Started brushing and a few seconds later I heard gagging noises. And after a few more seconds I heard him vomiting on the toilet. I guess he didn't like the mix of sweet toothpaste and salt. When he finally dared to come out of the bathroom, he was fake smiling as if nothing happened. And he stopped using my stuff after that, or at least didn't use as much. I don't need headphones. That's a you problem. I was riding on an Uber pool this morning when an incredibly inconsiderate individual got in the passenger seat. He pulled out his phone and started watching videos at full volume and blasting music. Do you happen to have headphones? I asked. No, why would I need headphones? He responded. Because you're in a car with other people and it's a considerate thing to do not to force everyone else to listen to your videos and music? That sounds like a you problem, he replies, going back to watching his video. So I pulled out my phone and blasted Baby Shark from the backseat for the remainder of the ride. If he turned around or got upset, well, that's a you problem. Ride my ass? Get pulled over. So this happened a while ago, but I still laugh about it. I was on my way home on a pretty major state route, where the speed limit is 55, until you go through a town, and it can drop to 45, sometimes 30. In this story, it drops to 45. So, I was coming down a pretty significant hill, and we all know that vehicles pick up speed while doing so. As I came down the hill, I started braking, since the town had a speed limit of 45. The guy behind me did not like that. He was on my ass so incredibly bad, I could count the whiskers on his face. As I went through town, I had to pass a fire department, and sitting on the opposite side of the road was a state trooper. Cue petty revenge. As I drove past the state trooper, I gestured to the cop to look behind me. I didn't think anything would happen, cause who's that lucky? Apparently, me. I kept watching in my rear view mirror, and roughly a mile out of town, asshole behind me got pulled over. Thank you, New York State Trooper. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Have a good one.